Thanks, Equal Expertise, for providing me this opportunity. Thanks, Anand, for giving me this platform to share my knowledge on Azure DevOps. So, Azure is basically a cloud solution that is developed by Microsoft, and Azure DevOps is a services is one of the service that is being provided by Microsoft. Okay. Okay. So it's going to be little bit practical session. Hmm. Okay. So in this session, I'll be giving you audible, right? Okay. Yeah. So in this session, I'll be discussing about Azure DevOps, how it is working, what are the services that have been provided by Azure DevOps, and we'll be in detail. We'll be looking at two services, that is Azure Board and the Azure Test Plan. Okay. So let's see. So the agenda is going to be how a brief introduction on the Azure DevOps services, then organization and projects in the Azure DevOps application, how to create the organization, how to create the projects I'll be showing you, Azure DevOps and its hubs, plus the test plan tools. Okay. Now, as per Microsoft, was what is Azure DevOps? Okay. Now, as per the definition given in the documentation, let's see what does it mean, and let's talk about it. Okay. Now, Azure DevOps supports a collaborative culture and a set of processes that bring together developers, project managers, and contributors to develop software. Okay, it allows organization to create and improve products at faster pace than they can with traditional software development approaches. Okay, now basically Azure DevOps is a project management tool. For example, if I give you some of the organizations are using Jira tickets and all, Jira application. So this is also one of the project management tools that we are using. Okay, in many of the organizations are using. So here all the project managers, developers, team members, QAs, DevOps engineers, all of them work together in order to achieve the requirements from the client in order to develop the product that is needed. Okay, it allows, it improves, it facilitates the process, and it helps to deliver at a faster rate. Okay. Now let me show you what is an organization and how to create the projects. Okay. Mm. Okay. So this is the website. So mostly if you just type Azure DevOps in the Google, you will lead to this website. So about Azure DevOps services, if you just Google it, you can lead to this particular page. And when you click on Start Free, you can create your own account, okay, and you can start using your own all these services that have been provided by Azure DevOps. Okay, so this is the page that I've just created one of the account here. What you see here on the page are the projects that I have created, a demo projects I have created, and at the left side what you see are the organizations. Okay, so here there is a link to create a new organization here. So when you click on new organization, let me create a new organization and show it to you. So you can name your organization, and you can set up wherever you want to set it up, the host, US, Europe or anything. Let me select US here and add this. So basically this will create a new organization, and under the organization you can create your own projects. Okay, so let me create a project here. You can choose your visibility, if it is public or a private. Okay, and click on create. So your project is also created. So here at the left side, if you see the name of the organization, Demo EE2, that I have created, and inside the organization I created the project. Okay, so once you create the project, you will get all these 5 services of the DevOps. Those all will get displayed. Okay, so that is board, repos, pipeline, test plan, and the artifacts. Okay, you can manage all of them by going into the organization settings. Okay, let me show you some of the important settings that you can make over here under organization settings. Okay, you can update the name of the organization if it is required. Then you can change the time zone here. You can change the owner of the organization itself, and if you do not want the organization, you can delete the organization here. Okay, now here you can manage all the projects also, what in the number of projects that are there in the organization. You can create your new projects here. So let me show you one of the projects. This is the Agile one that I have created, and here what you will see under the project are the processes. Okay, now basically there are 4 processes. Okay, if you can just click and you can select any of the processes here, and you can change the process as well. If you want to change the process, you can simply change the process, and you can select any one of them. So basically there is basic process, there is agile process, there is scrum, and there is CMMI. Okay, so the difference between all 4 processes are they have different work items. Okay, now basic is something which will give you only 3 work items, that is issue, epic, and the task, whereas agile will have more work items, give more work items, exposure to the more work items. Similarly, scrum will have its own different work items under the boards, so that I will show you. Okay, so also inside the project you can manage the users also. You can add your users. So these are the 3 users that I have added for now. Okay, you can add here by going by simply clicking on the add user and entering the email address, whosoever the person you want to add. So if I just want to add this person, I can add. You can select the respective project wherein you want to add the user, and just click on add, so that user will get added in your project. Okay, similarly in groups you can add a group, like a QA team or a developing team. We can add a group, and we can add the users. Okay, so here there is a billing option. One thing what the software is providing, it's you can create your own account for free of cost. The first 5 users will be free. First 5 users that you will be adding will be free of charge. The basic plan will also be free of charge. The test plan will be free for 30 days. The test plan tool will be free for 30 days. But after that you will have to pay certain amount, like $5 or $6 per user. Okay, so you can set up your billing. If you are hosting a pipeline and all, it is for certain period it is free, and then you have to charge it. Basic user free 5, and you can start a free trial. So if you want to use the facility, this test plan tool, and you want to try it out, you can try it for 30 days. You just have to click on this start free trial and you can use it. Okay. Now, yeah. Similarly, you can also allow and disallow some of the users, give them permissions for deleting the project, some tasks, some user stories, or if you get the build to go through the repos, there are some permissions that you can allow to some users. Okay, so this is all about organization settings. Let me show you the project settings. Okay, let me select this Agile One project. Okay, if you just click here and go to the project settings, you will get several options. Okay, you can either go here or there is one settings icon here. You can just click on it and it will lead to the project settings. Okay, now here overview, you can change the name of the project if it is required. You can change the project process, which I have already explained. You can change it from Agile to Scrum or a Basic or a CMMI, whatever that you want to choose. Okay, you can add one more administrator in your project if you require. Okay, similarly, there are 5 services as I told earlier that are being provided. You can disable them or enable them as per your requirement in the project. Okay, so you just have to click on this toggle and the repos will go off. Okay, so here the teams, you can inside the project you can create your own teams such as QA team or a developer team and add the individual users. Okay, permissions also, you can give permissions here to if I just select the Agile team, this is the team that I created earlier. Okay, if they rename the team project, if it is, you can allow them or view permissions to for this node, create a tag definition and everything. Okay, delete shared analytics view and all. Then for test plans also you can give them permissions to allow or not allow. You can set it over here under permissions. Okay, yeah, so that's about permissions of the projects. Now let's look into the project configurations. This is little bit important. Here you can set your sprint. Now basically sprints are of 1 week to 2 weeks or 3 weeks, max to max 3 weeks. You can set the date over here. You can name your sprint and you can set the date and you can save and close. A sprint will get created over here. Okay, and similarly, now the whole project, the project that I have considered over here is an e-cart project, shopping, to show you, to give you an example of about. So there are 3 features basically I have considered: login, registration, and the payment feature. Okay, so here you can create your own area path, whether it is for example in your case it is a home page or a login page. You can divide the whole project or the applications into various pages and name it under areas. Okay, add to cart page or a permissions or a settings page. Okay, so for now I just created 3 areas, that is login development, payment development, and the registration development. Okay, so this is under project configuration. Similarly, there is a team configurations. Okay, so here if you see here working days, you can choose the days, working days here, whether it is Monday to Friday or if you want to include Saturday as well. Okay, you can choose backlog navigations level such as epic, features, stories. Okay, now anybody is aware about what is epic and feature? Hmm. And then it has different features that you want to under it. Yeah. So all the tasks or basically a certain goal that we have, a common goal is stated in an epic, and then we branch out the epic into different tasks, like maybe if there are also whatever stories. Mm. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So here the epic, what I have chosen here is the development of the shopping website. Okay. Now the features what I have chosen are login, development of the login page, development of the payment, add to cart page, and the development of the registration page. So these are the features, and the respective stories are created in order to achieve everything. Okay. Now let me show you the board. So where have we reached? So we discussed the services that are been provided by Azure DevOps, that is board, repos, pipelines, artifacts, and test plan. Okay. So let's talk about Azure board hubs, that is work item, boards, backlogs, sprints, and queries. Okay. Let me show you where it is present. So here, this is the board, what you see here, and work item, boards, backlogs, sprint and queries, delivery plans, analytic views are also have come, but that is something we'll not be covering. We'll only focus on work items, boards, backlogs, sprints and queries. Okay. So these are the hubs, what we call of the board basically. Okay. Now let me show you how the work item getting displayed. Okay. Let me choose work item. So these are the work items that I have created initially. Basically, it consists of user stories. Okay, I'll show you how the user stories look, or how you can create the user stories. So these many work items are there in the Agile. Okay, when you just select the user story, for example, a development of the login page, or any other page, or development of the home page of the e-cart application. Okay. Then you can assign it to anyone, whosoever the developer is. You can add the description inside. You can add the acceptance criteria here. You can add the story point. So basically the story points will be like if it is 1 week task, then it might be 2 pointer or a 3 pointer. But if it is 2 weeks task, like 14 days task, then it will be a 5 pointer. It can be maximum to 8 pointers if it is of around, it takes around 1 month's task to accomplish. Okay. So if there is any risk, you can add over here high risk, medium, or a low. Priority also you can set. If it is a very high priority, then it will be 1, and depending. Okay. So here there is a value area, architectural or a business. If it is business requirement, then you will have to select a business over here. Okay. Now when we discuss about story points or something with PO or stakeholders or the business analyst, many times the discussion goes on that has to be documented somewhere. So it gets documented mainly over here under the comment sections or the discussion sections. Okay. Also, if there is a development, okay, that is going to happen with respect to this user story, then under this development you can add the link of the repo itself. So everything will be maintained and you can look into it. Okay. So for example, my development homepage e-cart is something which related to one of the feature that I have already defined. For example, if it belongs to home page feature or something, or registration or the payment, this doesn't, home page doesn't belong to a payment feature, but in case I've just created, you can select that particular feature and add a link. Okay. So all your data under a payment or that particular feature will be, all these user stories will be in that one feature. Okay. So you can create it like this. So this is with respect to the user stories. Similarly, you can add a bug, you can add a feature, you can add an issue if it is required, you can even add a test case on the board. Okay, so let me show you the board. There are some user stories how I have created before. So here there are columns, what you see, new items, active, pending, then testing. This mostly shows you the state of the sprint, how it is going on the board. Okay, so this is the sprint, this is the current sprint. You can select even the current iteration or a sprint 0. So how many user stories that are getting developed here in this sprint are 2 user stories. Okay, so here you can create your own task at the start of the sprint, like a development, testing, or the deployment. Okay, so I created 3 tasks over here. Under development, you can add the description over here. So if it is related to the development, then the developer will add their own task and they will describe over here in the description what they will be achieving in the first week and during the second week as well. If it is coding, then coding in detail will be described here. Now there is some, if sometimes there is a discussion with the project lead also, you can add under here. Okay, now you can even choose the priority of the task that you are working on. If it is very high, then low, or if it is low, then low. Okay, then here the activity, if it is development, then it is development. If it is design, deployment, documentation, or testing, you can choose whatever you want to choose. Similarly, there is effort hours. Okay, if one task is going to take like 10 hours or 17 hours or 16 hours, you can set it up over here under original estimate. That is just an estimate that is been given by a developer. Like if it is 10 hours, then 10 hours will be set. Okay, if it is giving you less than 10 hours, then you can add the remaining hours and you can finish it off and close your task accordingly. Okay, yeah. Similarly, you can add all your repos here with respect to whatever that you are developing. Okay, and add the related work, that is the parent. Okay, this is with respect to the task. Okay, here there is one more thing under boards. Okay, you can create or you can add a test case here under the user story as well. Okay, so let me add a test case here, development planning of e-commerce application. So this is the planning user story. And this is with respect to the registration page. Okay, let me add a test case here. Verify the alignment of the registration. Okay. So here, verify the alignment of the registration form, and I can add these steps here. No. Okay, it should be successful. You can add the steps here. The size and the width. As expected. Okay, here the steps you can add it, and you can also prioritize your test case here under the status. Okay, if it is automated or not automated, that also you can select or planned over here under this section. Okay, so I've added a test case here. Similarly, on the board itself, you can execute your test case. So you just have to click on this ellipsis and run the test case. When you click on run test, there is one new page that will get opened, and you can just pass the test case here and save and close. Okay, so when you will be adding these test cases or any of the tasks, you will see that those items are getting added under the work items. Okay, now work items will not have only the user stories or whatever that you have created initially. It will have everything inside it, whatever that you create later, that is test cases or a task or even the bugs that you are raising, that everything will be stored under work items. Okay, now there is an option called as backlog. Backlog is something that will manage all the work items here, and that you can assign your user stories, your bugs or everything in each of the sprint. So what when you select the option here, backlogs, there is at the right hand side you will see the planning. Okay, and here I have created the epic here initially, the development of the e-commerce website, and there were three features that I have created, that is registration, login and the payment. And inside features I had created these respective user stories. Okay, so I can shift my this, I can assign these user stories by just dragging and dropping to any of this sprint, and we can plan out the work in every sprint here under backlog section. Okay, or I can just pull it up and pull this one of the user story and put it in the sprint 4. Okay, so here the count becomes 1, here 4 user stories, here 1, and here 2 user stories. Okay, so under project configurations I had set the dates, right? So these dates will appear here of the sprint. Okay, similarly there is analytics over here, which will give you the velocity and the flow diagram. It will I just open some other project. It will give you the progress of the sprint basically, and it will show you what are the things that the team has planned and what are the things that the team has achieved. Okay, so if I just show you the velocity, it is sort of this flow diagram. So at the left hand side, whatever that is blue in color is the planned work that the team has planned for a particular sprint, like a 10 pointers user story or a 15 pointers user story, and what you see in the green is the accomplished task. Okay, so like that the average velocity is getting captured over here. So in one sprint, if the team is achieving 15 user story pointers, then in the next sprint they are expected to achieve 13 to 14 or 15 to 16 user stories pointers. Okay, so that gives you the overall idea of what the team can achieve in the next sprint. Okay, so basically the diagram looks like this, the flow chart looks like this. Yeah. So now let's go to sprint, where in actual work you can have a look at the whole work, how it is getting displayed. So at the left hand side, what you see are the user stories. Okay. So at the left hand side, what you see are the user stories that are in the current sprint. Okay. So I am under sprint now. There are 4 sections here. There is task board, backlog, capacity, and the analytics. Okay, analytics will give you the overall idea of how much the work is in progress, how many tasks are getting accomplished. Okay, how many hours it is taking. So under task board, I have taken for this sprint 0, I have taken only 2 user stories. Okay, and similarly, all the developers have created their respective tasks wherein they will be working on it, and they have estimated the hours for each of their tasks. Okay, so when it is in active state, it will go into this column. You can, if anything is blocking them or something, you can add one of the column as a blocker. So you just have to go to the settings and sorry, not here. Here. So you can add any one of the column, like a blocker. Yeah. And if there is anything that is not allowing the team member to work on it because of the resources or anything, and the task becomes is getting changed in the blocker state, you can move it to the blocker column. If it is getting resolved, then you can change it to the resolved state. If the task is closed, then you can change the move the task to the closed state, and then what you will see is the task status is also getting changed to the closed. Okay. Yeah, that's the sprint uh, whole. It will give you the whole idea about how the sprint is working, and how many tasks are is in progress, how many status of the task basically it will give you. It will show you how much time the user story is taking in getting accomplished. Okay. Now under the backlog, it will give you overall picture, this idea about how many user stories that the team is working on in the current sprint. Okay. Similarly, there is a capacity. Okay. Now, if there are three team members, if it is a team of three members, like one developer, one tester, and one DevOps engineer, then you can add users over here. Then capacity per day is in hours, so 8 hours per day they will be utilizing. And what is their activity? If it is development, then the development. If it is testing, then you can select testing. And if it is deployment or some other documentation or something, you can select a documentation. Here you can add the day offs or whatever in this sprint, in between this sprint, like from 27 to 11 December. If anybody is taking the off, you can mark it over here. That is under capacity. Okay. Now under analytics, it will give you the burn down chart. Okay. Here the widget is not working, but let me show you here. So basically, it will give you overall idea burn down. So the start of the sprint and the end of the sprint. By the end of the sprint, your all tasks should be in the closed status. So that will give you the to clients or somebody whosoever is looking into this, they'll get the idea about how many tasks are open, how many tasks are yet to be finished, or what is the state of the user stories in the current sprint. So that is the burn down or burn up chart you can add. Uh, you can add the widgets basically here. Okay. Now let's talk about queries. Okay. Now here, in the sprint, during the sprint, if there are any if there are bugs the team has raised, okay, and if you want to know the count of the bugs in the sprint, then you can add a query over here and get all the bug count or the status of the bug or anything. Okay. So you just have to, there is a query that you can run and get all the data. Just have to filter it out. Let me go to the agile one. Okay. So I have created a query here. You can create your own query and save and name it, or you can run it. So there was only one bug that was created, and it gave you the count of it. Okay. You can also create your own queries in order to check how many user stories or what are the status of the user stories or who created the user stories. Okay. So if I just filter out user stories here, and let the state be active, and I can just run it. And here all these three are the active user stories, that the data you can get it from the queries. Okay, so this is all about boards. Okay, so any queries on boards? Understood? So this is something which is used by project leads or a team, or even the team members uses it to create their own task process, their own work during the sprint. Okay, yeah. So let's talk about um, test plan now. Okay, so as per the definition, what it says is that Azure Test Plan provides rich and powerful tools everyone in the team use to drive quality and collaboration throughout the development process. Okay, mostly you will find in other software, you will find the test plans are or test labs will not be present in one software itself. Okay, here the thing is that you can manage your whole sprint in one software, one application, web application. You can maintain your repos pipeline, you can create your test suites, test plans, everything under one application. And similarly you can have your artifacts saved also in one software, in one cloud. Okay, now let's talk about test plan. Okay, so if I just select a test plan, you can create one your own, name your own test plan. Okay, you can select the area path. If it is if it is registration development, payment development, login development, I have created the general area path. Or even you can select your own iteration, whichever that you want to select. Let me select agile one iteration or the sprint, wherein you have to create your own test suite. Okay, now test plan, let's talk about test suite. Okay, there are three types of test suites that test plan is providing us. First one is static test suite, second one is requirement based test suite, and the third one is query based test suite. Okay, static test suite, let me create a simple static test suite. Okay, now here you can add your any test cases. You can write your own test case, or you can fetch the existing test case that are there in the project. Okay, now here the test suite will have three sections, that is define, execute, chart. Okay, mostly you will find the test lab and test plan are placed in a different places, but here you can define your own test cases in a single section, and similarly you can execute those test cases under execute section, and the outcome of it you can create the chart and upload in the dashboard, or you can show it to the clients. Okay, now let me define one simple test case, a login test case. Here, verify the login functionality, open e-commerce URL in the browser, should be successful. Okay, enter login username, enter password, and successful. Yeah, so this is the static test case I have created. Similarly you can execute it over here. You just have to click on this ellipsis and click on run. You run for web application, run for desktop application. You can select these two options. Let me select run web application here. And you can pass the test case or fail it. Each step you can pass or fail. Okay, here Now this is adding completely new test case. Okay, let me show you how you can add an existing test case. Okay, if your project has already existing test case, then you can just click on this add existing test case, and there will be one query that you can run it. You can select your own, like if which test cases you want to fetch, like from the registration development, related to the payment or login or whichever. I'll just select agile one and I will run the query. Okay, I'll select three test cases. If you see here, 17 work items got fetched and two test cases are selected. Okay, let me add those two test cases here. So this is adding the existing test cases. Okay, and I can execute them as and when I want. Okay, so this is about static test suite. Okay, let me talk about requirement based test suite. Okay, now requirement based test suite is something which is based on your requirement. If you want to add the test cases or with related to the registration development, then you can fetch only those test cases. Okay, so let me fetch only the test cases related to the registration development. So if I run the query, sorry, this is user stories, and I can create the test suite. Okay, now there was only one test case that was covered under registration and that got fetched. Okay, so this is with respect to the requirement based, means registration login or a payment test cases you can fetch it. Okay, let me talk about query based test suite. Now what are query based test suite? Now this mostly help us in testing, doing the sanity testing or a smoke testing. Okay, now clients come up with the requirement stating I want to run only prioritized test cases, only high level scenarios I want to run. Okay, so how will you separate from all 100 from the regression test suite which consists of 100 test cases? How will you fetch it? Okay, you can filter it out by creating a query based test suite. Okay, now this is a query that a chart that is getting displayed. Okay, so let me add one new clause here with priority. Okay, and let me select, I just want to fetch only those test cases which are having priority as 2, and when I click on create, I'll get all the test cases which are having the priority as 2. Okay, or I can also create a test suite. I can, here there is one option that usually we get. Okay, you can tag it as a sanity testing or whatever that you can tag and name it. Okay, so you can run one more query. Okay, by names, by tags. Okay. Okay, so let me select a tag, high level or sanity. That is not appearing, but let me select a high level here that I have created, and let me run the query. Okay, so I got these 4 work items which are having high level scenarios, and let me create the test suite. So this is a query based test suite. Okay, so what we learned under test plan, there are 3 types of test suites that we can create: static based test suite, requirement based test suite, and a query based test suite. Okay, now let me talk about configurations. Okay, it's not always that we run the test the application only on the Chrome browser. It doesn't happen like that. There are certain different types of environments that we have to work on, different operating systems that we have to work on, different kinds of mobiles like Android or iPhone, or different browsers like Safari, then our Firefox, Chrome, Opera, different types of configurations that we have to do. Okay, so there is one option called as configurations here. So here there are certain configurations that are already been added, such as of browser. You can choose your own browser like Firefox, Chrome, etc. whatever. Then you can choose your test environment. If it is automation environment, you can select automation, or for a testing, manual testing, you can choose your test environment or whichever. Okay, you can choose Windows 7, Windows 10, and similarly the operating system. Okay, now let me go to the test plan here. Let me select one of the test suite that I have created. Okay, so here you get an option called as assign configuration. Okay, under assign configurations, I went here and I selected assign configuration. So here you can choose your configurations. Let me select all three configurations. Okay, now what you saw under define is only three test cases are present. Okay, whereas when you go to the execution, you will see those test cases are getting converted to 9. Okay, why? Because there is one more column that got added as a configurations. Okay, now you can run all of these on different configurations. Okay, so this is the importance of configurations. Okay, now let me talk about adding a shared step in the test case. Okay, what is shared step basically? Now there are certain steps that we have to process again and again in order to execute one of the one of the scenario, like login. Login is something which we initiate again and again. We have to process the login. So this we can add it under shared steps. Okay. Now let me give you how we can add shared steps. Okay. Now login sheets and username successful and password. Login button should be successful. Okay. This is one of the steps that I've added. Let me create one more test case wherein I am just checking the function, verify the registration form submission. Okay, now here again the login process and everything I'll have to add it. Okay, which is not feasible. So there are two options over here. What you see, insert the shared steps. Okay, let me click on one of the shared steps. Let me click on that option. So login, when I type it and click on share, you will get these two shared steps. Okay, let me select one of them and insert the shared steps, and you can process, add your remaining steps. Click on registration links, should be successful, and open the registration form, should be successful. Okay, so that's how you can add the shared steps in your test cases. Okay, so let me talk about parameters. This is the second last topic that we'll be talking about, parameters. I won't be taking more time. Okay, so when you click on the parameters, there are these two options. There is this one table that will get formed. Okay, there is username and the password column. I have created own earlier parameters. Like when you validate the login functionality, you don't only validate with valid username and password, right? You have to choose many, like invalid username, valid password, valid username, invalid password. So these are very parameters that you select in the test cases. Okay, so that's how it is called as parameterized test cases. Okay, so login parameters I have selected. Okay, so here when you add one of the test case, verify login functionality. Okay, and at the rate, it should start with at the rate, one of the parameter I've added, and it is successful. Okay, and at the rate password. Okay, now here below you will get one parameter values option. Okay, you just have to select it. Sorry. So here there will be, so here the options will get, wait, let me give you some other example. Under test plan I'll go, I'll select one of this already existing test case. Let me create, let me add one existing parameterized test case. Okay, yeah. So here under parameters, values, whatever parameter, whatever username, password that you have set, it automatically appears here. Okay, and while executing this same test case, how it will appear, I'll show you. Right click and run this. So here the values will appear for you. That is this was the first values that I have added. Then when you select the second iteration, automatically the values are getting changed here. The third, automatically different values are getting changed. Okay, and four. So you can run all these four iterations in one single test case. So this is basically a parameterized test case, and you can create different um, variables or IDs here. You can create a different set of test data and keep it ready for your own test suite to run and execute. Okay. So I've just created for login. You can create for different addresses and everything. Yeah. So that's about test plan. I hope. Okay. Now there is one more thing. There is when we log a bug or something, there are screenshots that we require as a QA. We require screenshots or a recording that is needed. Okay, there is this test and there is this one extension that has been provided by Microsoft. Okay, that is test feedback extension. You can directly start it, and if you want to capture the screenshot, you can directly capture the screenshot. Sorry, you can create, and then you can save it, and you will see, or you can record also. I just showed you the screenshot of it. You can save the screenshot and you'll see automatically the report is getting generated. It's nice. Let me show you how the report is. So like this, the report gets generated. If you want to take the screenshot at what time you have created, taken the screenshot and everything, all the data is getting stored in an HTML report. Okay, that's the use of the test and feedback extension that has been provided. Okay, yeah. So that's it from my side. So this certificate is at 400. You can you can get certified. Okay, it is costing for around 4,800 INR. Okay, you can learn all these five tools and you can answer the exam and get yourself certified. Yeah. So thank you. Any questions? Any queries? It was. Yeah. Mm. You want to remove? I think you have to pay on a monthly basis. For a month, it is $5 to $6 per user. So if after 5 users, if the count goes on, if count is increasing in the team, then you have to pay $5, $5 to $6 per user. Yeah, yeah. But I think you have to whatever that you have paid for 1 month, you can't remove that subscription. There are some subscriptions that you have to take. When you generate that session report, if there are any bugs, does it autofill those, like create a bug ticket? Yeah, yeah, you can attach everything inside the bug. So when I create a bug, right? So here also you can attach, if any of your, here you can attach all that screenshot and the report when you create the bug, or when you are running the test. So there is an option that you get under test plan to directly, if the test case is getting failed, it gives you an option. So here you saw this, create a bug, and yeah, you can attach. Yeah, manual, and you can also this all IDs are that are present, right? You can add those IDs and you can attach your automated test cases inside the pipeline and run them. There is an option that is there, right, when you write the test case, whether it has to be automated or not. If it is planned, then you can. Yeah. Here, associated automation is there. Just have to add the ID and then the pipeline and everything, it will get linked to it. It, yeah. I think it can read the titles and all from here in the pipeline and generate the report.